you'll do it afterwards, huh? Yeah, when he goes there,
Yeah, you're gonna go there to face it.
Guru Kripalam Kevalam Guru Kripalam Kevalam.
I'm sorry about that mixed up, Sidra. Now we're going to have the national anthem of India, where our culture came from. We are paying homage to our ancestry, and after that we'll have the Guru Bhajan when Vyas take his seat.
Shall we place our hands on the right hands on the heart? Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkal Banga Vidya Himanchal Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jalhi Taranga Tab Shubha Name Jage Tab Shubha Ashish Mange Gaye Tab Jal Gata Jana Gana Mangal Dayak Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He
Vande Mataram. Thank you.
Guru Kripalam Kevalam 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 Vada Kripalam Kevalam Pita Kripalam Kevalam Pita Kripalam Kevalam Guru Kripalam Kevalam Guru Kripalam Kevalam Guru Kripalam Kevalam Guru Kripalam Kevalam Sai Kripalam Kevalam Shiva Kripalam Kevalam केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं कृष्णकृपालं केवलं राघकृपालं केवलं कृष्णकृपालं केवलं राघकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं रामकृपालं केवलं शिवकृपालं केवलं रामकृपालं केवलं सीताकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं केवलं ब्रह्मकृपालं केवलं विष्णुकृपालं केवलं ब्रह्मकृपालं केवलं विष्णुकृपालं केवलं गुरुकृपालं 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 केवलं
Take a bite.
One.
Yeah.
Shall we all stand for opening arti, please?
Testing 1 2 1 2.
She's so cute. It's bright. Like it's not bright.
Testing 1 2.
It's not bright.
1 2.
It's automatically slide sensor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
यानि कानि जपापानि जन्मन्तरे कृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ते प्रदक्षिणा करे करे कीरति कलिता कीरति कलिता ललित सिय पीके भारत से भारत से रामायण
रामचंद्र भगवान की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री शंकर भगवान की, प्रेम से बोलो आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की। You may have your seat, please.
Ram once again. We hope you are prepared and ready for another night of magnificent teachings. But before we do that, we always save the best for last. So the anticipation would make you sick and not feel hungry. With that said, we're all gathered here by the grace of the Dhanraj family, and we would like to extend a hearty thank you for giving us the opportunity to congregate once again in your 5 nights, in fact 4 days, and 4 nights and 1 day yajna. But before we go ahead with the program, it would be amiss if I don't mention this family. So I would really like everybody representing that family who have sponsored this wonderful gathering to stand up, so all your invitees who know who you are, they'll once again see you, and who don't know who you are, they'll see how beautiful and handsome your family is. So please do stand up and let us recognize your effort and how hard work in putting this occasion together. Thank you very much. Now, we would have 3 bhajans before the Vyas give his sermon. And Anji being the first, she is a talented young lady representing Pambi. And we would really like to give her the opportunity to do the first rendition. Anji, please.
Ramayan katha humko pyara pyara, Ramayan katha sabko
beautiful rendition. We really do appreciate that. Next, we're gonna have a beautiful young lady by the name of Cheyenne. She's gonna do another rendition for you guys. And just to let you know, sometimes we don't come to Mandir because we have all the excuses in the world. But happy hour, you have the time or you make the time to do that. Cheyenne is a brand new mother. She brings her baby and her baby is sleeping. Let's take that for something and use it as a lesson. So without further ado, thank you very much.
गुरु चरण सिरनाई के बिलवत दो करे जो शिव शंकर के चरणों राजन कैलाशपति महाराज आज कैलाशपति महाराज आज सुंदर शिव भगवान कैलाशपति महाराज आज कैलाशपति महाराज आज सुंदर शिव
request is this beautiful young lady. I heard she has a melodious voice. And she happens to be one of the hosts, so maybe if we don't cheer her on, you guys don't get dinner. So, no, but seriously, she really do have a melodious voice. So without further ado, Trisha, please do grace us with a beautiful bhajan.
उसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी पर उसकी जरूरत क्या होगी हे माँ तेरी सूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी उसको नहीं देखा
voice for the second half of the program. And now, the Dhanraj family have a special occasion they'll be celebrating. Now, many of us fight to reach that age. Some of us reach the age without knowing it. Some of us wish we didn't reach that age. And some of us don't know if we reach that age, what next? So, Auntie Mari and Uncle are celebrating their wedding anniversary, and hence the marriage of Shiva Parvati. That's why Panditji chose that. So we would like Auntie Mari and Uncle to stand up so the kids have their time in garlanding you, and for everyone to see how beautiful you've brought up your family. So please give us that time to recognize you and Uncle. Auntie Rishma would be doing a beautiful rendition for you so that it would be a reminiscent of the first time Uncle has garlanded you. So Auntie Rishma, please do give us that beautiful wedding song.
हे धनुआ पूरा जनक जी से आरे पटीर भाई बारी हे धनुआ पूरा जनक जी से आरे पटीर भाई बारी कीर भाई बारी कीर भाई बारी
Sri and Dimari and Uncle, and we'd really like to see you guys reach 80 plus. I mean years of marriage, because you look still young. So thank you very much. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Now, with that said, I am your MC by default. So I hope you'd like to listen to me tonight, because if you don't, there's cotton balls free at the back. So, moving on, I would really like to tell you guys, you have made Auntie Mari very, very happy by showing up here and supporting her, because anybody, when they put together a function, they don't know how successful it's going to be. Now, there is a request by this family, and that request we'd like to see to fruition, because a lot of times we'd like to be many places, but because of circumstances, we can't be there. And as such, we need to learn to understand that God is on wheels. He's mobile. He's wherever you are. And we don't have to be confined to a mandir. Our mandir is our hearts. So yes, we come here. And sometimes I feel, when you come to mandir, I don't know if it's by devotion or if it's because you see it as a social gathering. Because sometimes we come to mandir and the Pandit is giving his katha, which he spends so many time researching, because obviously when he asks questions and we can't answer, we haven't done the same research. So let's give some respect to the Pandit when he does his research, so we don't have another katha at the back and use Bhaging Parsad as a default. So thank you guys for your attention. And now I have Auntie Mari's brother, who is known as Mamu Bradraj Bahadur. And he is not here, he can't be here because of circumstances. And Auntie Mari did the puja today for him because he's in Toronto and he is not in the greatest health. So let's give him that same ear we would give to Vyas, because he take his time to share with you his heartfelt gratitude. Now, I will do 2 introductions in one, and as I said, I like to talk, so if you don't like to hear me, then cotton ball is free. His daughter, who is Shalini, and she is also Shalini Bahadur, she would like to sing a bhajan for you guys. Now bear in mind, this is from Toronto. Now somebody said to me, I don't know, a month ago, I don't need to go to mandir because I can have my puja done online. Oh yeah, remote control. So I would like to tell you, it may not be very politically correct for me to say I don't care, but to each his own. If you think that's good for you, awesome. But make sure you get the same online pundit to do your funeral. You definitely need 6 pallbearers while you're at it. Or maybe you can get a robot to push it too. So every action is a reaction. Let's think about that. Before we say something to offend somebody, let's think about it. So without further ado, let's give Mamu Budraj and his daughter Shalini your rapt attention, please. Thank you, from all the way to Toronto.
You can go ahead.
Namaste, Pandit Sharma Ji, my dear sister Maruti, also known as Marie, my David, all my Henrites, my nieces, nephews, grandnieces, grandnephews, pranam to all devotees. I have been ill for some time now. So unfortunately, I could not attend this wonderful, beautiful puja, yes, and satsang in person. However, thanks to modern technology of Facebook Live video, I have been able to attend with you virtually and spiritually. Over the last several days, these prayers, songs, and the support of Panditji, my sister and family, as well as temple devotees, have filled my heart, mind, and soul with healing strength, peace, and happiness. I want to thank my sister, Maruti, and their entire family for these prayers for myself, our extended family, and indeed all the ancestors of our whole Parivar. I wish I could have been there with you, but with God's help, I will recover and join you. At the wonderful yatra in your temple in future. God bless my sister and the entire family. A final thanks to Pandit for his clear words, uninspired, teaching about Lord Shiva, along with beautiful bhajan, and to all those in attendance at this yatra. We thank you for your prayer. Blessings to all of you. Now my daughter, Shalini, would like to help me sing one of my father's favorite Shiva bhajan.
Okay, namaste, Panditji, all devotees. A happy anniversary to my Pua and to my Pupa, a true Shiva and Parvati. Ready? Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shankar Bole. Sab devo mein deva nirale, Jai Bam Bam Bole. Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shankar Bole. Sab devo mein deva nirale, Jai Bam Bam Bole. Mahadeva tumne hi to saga, devo ka santara. Sagar manthan mein nigadani, tumne bani antara. Mahadeva tumne hi to saga, devo
Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shankar Bhole. Jai Ram Ram Bole, Jai Ram Ram Bole.
Thank you, Shri.
Want to do anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you all very much for attending.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. And we've just had a remote control button. Now, I know for a fact that the highly anticipated time is here. And how many of you are willing to get drunk? Wait, all you saw that? How many of you are willing to get drunk? And don't go outside because Corona is on vacation, the virus took over. So you can't get drunk on that unless you switch your loyalty to Heineken. But even Heineken wear masks these days. So, now, some of you got that, some of you who didn't, you get it on the way out. See, I know you're up. Now, I have the distinguished honor of introducing your pilot for this evening flight. Buckle up, you're gonna get to the altitude of 35,000 feet. Now, cruising, I am not sure about that, because we all know Panditji has turbulence in his katha. Especially the Modena. So, now, I don't look at him when I introduce him, because when I look at him, I remember all the things he would say, you know, and things like he has the only circle with 3 halves. So, when he says he got 3 circles and 3 halves, any mathematician, don't reach him outside and tell him no. He won't listen. So, with all jokes aside, let's get to Pandit. I would like to welcome Vyas to the journey of spiritual enhancement. And this journey is not for him, it is for us. So welcome Pandit Sarva. Pandit Sarva was born to Pandit Shastri and Srimati Pulmat Bisundiyal in Annandale, Guyana. He is a 4th generation Pandit, followed in the footsteps of Pandit Bechu Sukul Maharaj, who is his great Nana, who was his great Nana, because he is the late. Pandit Sadhu Narayan, who is his late Nana, so he has his great Nana and his late Nana, and his late Pandit Shastri Bisundiyal, who was his father. His spiritual teachings are supported by his late father, Pandit Shastri Bisundiyal, the late Pandit Sama Prasad, Professor H.S. Adesh, and Swami Ramcharan. Additionally, Pandit Sarva is known locally and globally for his music. Not only he has recorded 2 Bhakti CDs in India, he also performed alongside the likes of Anup Jalota, Bablan Kanchan, as well as the late Hariyam Sharan. I will pause there because I remember while I was doing something this morning, and I thought about him, and I says, wait a second, I mentioned all these things, and I forgot to mention, because all day today, he's watching the elections in Guyana. And I forgot to mention that he performed for both parties in Guyana on the state lawn for the presidents, ex and current, until we left. So he also performed on the State House for the presidents. So I just thought about mentioning that because he has so many things, sometimes if I don't write it down, I don't remember. Currently, Pandit Sarva is studying the Ramcharitmanas with the goal of sharing the message and way of life of Lord Shiva. Let's join this humble soul with his melodious voice into the golden pages of this spiritual journey at 35,000 feet above. So let's give it up, ears, even your breath, for the holy pages of the Ramcharitamanas. Without further ado, Pandit Sarva.
It's all yours.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Let us clasp our hands as we offer a couple of prayers.
Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvarth Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Karpuragaram Karunavataram Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Saravasantam
Mantras for your mind.
Hridayanakhinde Bhavam Bhavani Saritam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Saritam Namami Guru Bhuvasva Swaha.
Listen bass to me and drop the master one to one. Shall we recite from Gayatri Mantra as this family offer Parvati? Together.
Om Guru Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Guru Bhuvasva Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Guru Bhuvasva Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Guru Bhuvasva Swaha. Om Ekadanta Vedmahi Vakratunda Dhimahi Tano Dante Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasva तनो दुर्गा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ महालक्ष्मी च विद्महे विष्णुप्रिया च धीमहि तनो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ वाग्देव्यै च विद्महे कामराजा धीमहि तनो देवी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ श्री तुलसी विद्महे विष्णुप्रियाय धीमहि तनो वृन्दा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ गिरिजा च विद्महे शिवे प्रियाय धीमहि तनो गौरी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ पृथ्वी देवे च विद्महे सहस्रमूर्तये धीमहि तनो पृथ्वी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ भास्कराय विद्महे दिव्याकराय धीमहि तनो सूर्याय प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ दिव्याकराय विद्महे प्रभाकराय धीमहि तनो आदित्या प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ प्रभामाने विद्महे गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तनो गुरु प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ देवकी नन्दनाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तनो कृष्णा प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे दिव्याय धीमहि तनो रुद्र प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ रामदूताय विद्महे वायुपुत्राय धीमहि तनो हनुमताय प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महासेनाय धीमहि तनो स्कन्द प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ वैश्वनाराय विद्महे लाललाय धीमहि तनो अग्नि प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः स्वाहा। Blessed souls, my humble pranam once again to each and every one of you. It is a distinguished honor that I take this evening to be here, to sit amongst you, to give me a wonderful opportunity which I do not take lightly, to share the pages, the loving pages of this Sri Ramcharitmanas, this lake that contains the glories of Sri Ram. In this beautiful page, these pages, we will look from where we left off last night. But before we start, at least we do one little tune so we can get everybody into the mood. I would like to welcome devotees of Sri Hanuman Shakti Mandir. I would like to welcome devotees of the Sri Saraswati Mandir. I would like to also welcome executive and members of the Bhavani Ashram out in St. Lucie who have graced us all the way, and also from the Palmway Mandir who have graced us this evening. I want to welcome every single one of you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of this Shiv Shakti Hanuman Mandir and the Dhanraj family. Thank you guys for coming out. This will be a wonderful experience to understand the glories of Sri Ram, the glories in the name of Sri Ram of Shiva and Parvati. Ram se mila de, Ram se mila de, Ram se mila de, Ram se mila de. Before we start Ramayan, am I too loud in the back there, Steve? I'm okay? Before we start Ramayan, His
story. We do Ramayan together. Gananayak Karivara Bharana Karivara In these sessions that we have been going on in the last couple nights, beginning on Wednesday, Thursday, many of us have returned because you have what you call, you pay one ticket, and within the 5 days, you're entitled to jump on the bus again free. Like when you go in New York and you get a bus and to reach Mala. Thank you for coming out, Rish. In this session, we will look at the Trinity. As I said, meeting with the Lord Bhagwan Shiva. Not knowing how he will respond, and after getting a response, how Parvati Ma reacted. A little summary of what happened. It's a narration of penance, a narration of faith, a narration of tapasya, a narration of romance where the cost was to generate the desired results. Last night, in a little summary, we sang the last Chaupai, where we end, where the mother-in-law, Mainawati, or the intended mother-in-law at this point in time, not confirmed yet, is about to partake with her sisters and siblings and family and friends from the kingdom of Himavan, the king, mountain king, as this Bharat or Bharat in proper language, in our West Indian language, Bharat, have arrived. when and the tribe, Lord Shiva's tribe, as to how they came dressed was to the surprise of the host. So as they were making cacophonic noise and singing and speaking their own language which the other side did not understand or understood, and Lord Shiva being dressed in a garb that they feel is unwelcoming, the whole party, seeing Lord Shiva dressed in an outfit with a skin, a special skin with dripping blood, with a mala of skulls, and when this party saw him, they all run and left Mainawati. They fled in utter panic, as described by the author. They went into the house. Mainawati was left standing alone in amazement to understand what kind of dulaha is this coming right now to marry my daughter. Any mother will probably think the same way, because I'm giving you the best that I have. They can. So to set the mood for tonight's session, this is where we left off last night. So as they fled in utter panic, quickly the protocol officers of that kingdom of Himavan and Mainawati reached out to the inviting party of Lord Shiva and engaged them into a lodging area which we will call Janwas. Mainawati was grieving. She was grieving at heart, and she sent for her daughter. That's where we left off last night. So what happens here? A little description as why Lord Shiva dresses like that. I need continuous clapping from the minimum at least 3 people. It makes it beautiful. And everybody would like to, preferable, but not everybody may want to. But at least 3 people continuously. So, just to explain, before we move on, why Lord Shiva dressed like this. And he's coming. He's from the jungle. He's from Kailash. He has a tribe that nobody knows about in them yet. They are what you call celestials. And in this beautiful bhajan I choose to explain to you that the groom had matted locks. It flows like the Ganga. This is why, listen. Mainawati could not pick up this as yet. It flows like the Ganga. He destroys the miseries of the worldly existence. His forehead is marked with a tilak that bears the moon. His neck is adorned with a garland of snakes. And the Lord of Kailash dances to the beat of the kettle drum. Our drummer here tonight, Govindam himself, all the way from Lehigh, spending the week for us. Let's give him a round of applause. He's also our sound engineer by default. Dum 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 dum, dum 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 bajaye Shankar ke laal Om Namah Shivaya. Prem se bolo Mahadeva ki. Prem se bolo Shambhu Deva ki. And this is the Shakti we get. We want to take this very same Shakti to the other temples too. So while you come here, take a little bit of the energy and prepare, we're coming. This Bharyat is coming. Okay? So in this very next Chaupai, after Mainawati sent for her daughter, as she became grief. My normal favors, if the cell phone goes off, we will have to start all over again. I would like everybody to sing with us. Remember the reason why we sing Ram Ram? 2 times Ram Ram in the shortest possible form. Give us 1 round of the Rudraksha. 1 version of it. Of course, they're also extended. Ram Siya Ram. And melodious lines documented first by Goswami Tulsidas at the instruction and dictum of Lord Shiva himself. Powerful Hindi language. Adhika Saneha Goda Baithari Shama Sarush Nayana Bhari Bari. In the most loving manner, Mainawati, after she sent for her daughter, she took her in her lap like her baby. And she's playing with her daughter, while tears rushed to her eyes. Her tears resemble that of a pair of blue lotuses. Inverted commas, this is what she's thinking and narration. To think, she continues in her mind, that the Creator who has made you, Parvati, Bhavani Ma, so beautiful. The mother did not know that this is Bhavani. Mind you, it's a regular daughter. Mainawati thinks that the Creator who has made you so beautiful should have been stupid enough to give you such a raving lunatic for a husband. You hear how the mother go off? If I really think that I've got a problem with a mother, with Lord Shiva, sometimes in some temples, people laugh and ask me, what am I saying? It is here, in Balkan. Why this is documented is to share with you ahead of time that when you get married, mother-in-law will always be there too. You have to know how to deal with it. It's not what is being said or the body language, it's how we respond to the situation. Okay? So who can tell me tonight they don't have no problem with their mother-in-law?
I didn't.
You do not know how your mother-in-law thinks yet about you. It's meant to be a joke. But anyway, getting back to the point. Lord Shiva himself had problems with his mother-in-law in thinking in her mind as she has her daughter in her lap. What a raving lunatic you want for your husband. Can you imagine that? And do you think Shiva knows? Yes, he does. We talked about this last night. Before we finish, you never know who comes disguised in front of you. In our Hindu, Vedic, Sanatan custom, Dharma custom, the minimum you offer to someone who comes to you is a glass of honey, 1 glass of water, or in modern times a bottle of water. Simple? Do not let anyone who come to your home even to inquire. At least offer them 1 bottle of water. Okay? And of course, if you know them a little bit more, you decide what you want to do, invite them and so forth. But Shiva here is one to go in, to go see this gal, and his mother-in-law is thinking different, and he heard a Parvati too. He already understands how his mother-in-law thinking. Doha speaks for us in these beautiful lines. Buying Bikala Abala Sakala. Tonight, my tone is a little bit down for a purpose. This mode of what I'm translating and sharing with you is a little softer. But as it gets exciting with the entrance of the person who was the agua, so to speak, his name begins with an N. It gets more better. Narayan, Narayan. So in this Doha, when the ladies saw and heard Mainawati reaction, they became distressed, like anybody. She wept and exclaimed, She wept and she exclaimed she have her daughter in her lap. And this is what she's thinking. Chow pai for us. The language tonight, Matribhasha, is so sweet as I'm singing Narada Ramayan, and it fits so beautiful every syllable into the swar of our music tonight. Bhavana, imagine how Bhasha comes. Bhavana mor jinha basata ujara. Mainavati in this chaupai asking to Narad. Narad is not here as yet, but she's talking to herself. This mother, what harm have I done to Narad that he should ruin my happy home and give Parvati such advice to do penance to win a crazy husband? You see that? What the daughter sees in a husband or someone, the mother will not see. So will there always be some form of difference? There will always be. Is how you react to it. Lord Shiva will teach us tonight how to react to your mother-in-law. I took the very same advice from Shiva, how to react to my mother-in-law. We make mother-in-law happy, wife happy. We make wife happy, life happy. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
Okay?
Hello.
Maaf kijiye. Mainavati continues to describe Shiva as one who is passionless, one who is without affection, with no wealth, and I underline that word, no house, no shame, and no fear to come and marry my daughter like this. This is how she's thinking to herself, and she bunbunay na. We say bunbunay. She's talking to herself. Let me repeat this because this is a very powerful line. It's a learning curve for all of us. Mainavati, she continues to describe Shiva as one who is passionless, without affection, without no wealth, without no house, without no shame, no fear. Nowadays, if somebody got little money in many corners or a house, the mother and father probably do not want to get their children married. They're looking for some form of gains. Not in every farm, but many farms. A beautiful song I'll sing the chorus, and everybody know. It means, Lord, I do not want a colorful palace or the splendor of wealth. Imagine she has everything. Okay? She has everything. She has everything. And she's speaking about wealth. Can you imagine that? She is speaking about wealth. This is how many of us think in Kali Yuga. नहीं चाहिए रंग महल ना धन दौलत की हम तो मांगे तुझसे एक संतोष Lord, you have given us birth and you sustain us with your kindness and infinite mercy. Our home and the world will prosper. We do not want diamonds nor pearls, neither a mind of jewel. Here, Mainawati is Mainawati, the queen of the mountain. This is what she's speaking of. Lord Shiva. That this gentleman doesn't have wealth, he doesn't have house, no shame, and he had no fear to come to my house to marry my daughter. Man, where are we? Chaupai continues beautiful.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jananihi Bikala Bolika Bhavani. Parvati saw her mother was in distress. So the mother was not talking at this moment. We narrate earlier in the Doha and the previous Chaupai what was going through her mind. And she have Parvati. So when you want somebody know how somebody thinks, how much percent in their body language? 90% of the way they think, that's the way how they behave. 10% is what they speak. Statistics. More or less, right? So Parvati saw her mother in distress, and thus she spoke gently and discreetly to her mother. She saw Lord Shiva coming in. So she already observing. There's more or less a communication of body language. Grieve not, my mother, for whatever is ordained by providence cannot be altered. Parvati is speaking to her mom. She first starts speaking, giving consolation to her mom. Grieve not, my mother, for whatever is ordained by providence cannot be altered. If that is destiny, to have a husband like that, then no one should be blamed. It is my karma. I must experience joy and sorrow wherever I go. You want me to repeat that line? If that is destiny to have a husband like that, then no one should be blamed. It is my karma. I must experience joy and sorrow wherever I go. I pause this line here. I want to share something for you. I don't want to talk my story, but more than 2 decades of marital experience. Is that good enough to give a reference point? I know Auntie Mari is celebrating 80 years. She can give you a whole adhyay. So, coming back to this, when you marry, I'm just going forward a little bit because I want to sell you something. I want to sell you a benefit. Do you think, have anyone ever been to the sea? Just raise your hand. Have you took the opportunity to see the waves, how it goes? How many times is it smooth? And how many times is it rough? Is it always the same? Is it always the same? So this survey that I've just done with you tells me not too many people been to the sea. I'm going to ask the question again. How many people been to the sea, to the ocean? Is the wave the same way every time you go? No. Right. How you think your relationship is going to be?
Up and down.
You get it?
Up and down.
You get a message? If Ganga Ma is bringing this kind of unevenness in her glories washing on the shores of Dharti Ma, what you think will happen? And our body, this cosmos is about 70%, 70 to 72% of water, which is that of Gangama. Our body replicates that 70 to 72%. What you think will happen with us? The same story. So now, when you think you are different,
you are not different. You are not neither different nor you are not indifferent. You're what you're supposed to be. However, I want to give you hope. I want to give you love from the teachings of my father, my great-grand, my DNA, from the teachings of my guru. I have learned. Lord Krishna guides us in chapter 17. If we can be in submission to the cosmos, everything is in control around us. But we challenge every single step that we make on earth. And we rumble on her, and we tumble on her, and we drive hard, and we tell somebody what we want to tell them on the highway, and all kind of story, not forgetting that, you know what? You are in the hands and the lap of Dharti. Dharti ka pyar. So, coming back to this story, I must experience joy and sorrow. I want to sing one line of a beautiful song I learned many years ago. Dinna din dinna dinna din dinna dinna din dinna dinna din. Listen to the line. Tere karma kahani, tere aatma bhi jaane, tere karma kahani, tere aatma bhi jaane. Kahan chupega re prani, prani re. Kahan chupega re prani, tere aatma bhi jaane, parmatma bhi jaane, tere karma kahani, tere aatma bhi jaane, parmatma bhi jaane. Kahan chupega re prani, tere aatma bhi jaane, parmatma bhi jaane, tere karma kahani, tere aatma bhi jaane, parmatma bhi jaane, tere karma kahani, tere aatma bhi jaane, parmatma bhi jaane, parmatma bhi jaane. तेरे कर्म कहानी, तेरे आत्मा भी जाने, परमात्मा भी जाने. This song is a very old song, tells us, oh man, oh woman also, your own soul knows what you did in life. Where will you hide your actions? Both your soul and God know the story of your life. Both your soul and God knows the story of your life. This is the learning curve of this part of this information that I'm sharing, and it gets excited as we move along. Why? This, if you haven't remembered anything, remember this tonight. We have a saying, Jaise karne. So whatever action you sow in English language, that is what you will. It doesn't matter whether you turn the tower upside down, it will still have to still make chota. But what I'm trying to say with you is that whatever you do is still your life. So you are that representation of that entity. And what type of pancake you make or chota is what ingredients you put inside. If you put love, you get back. If you put a smile, what do you get back? If you put a sorrow face on, or maybe a funny face to somebody, what do you get back? The law of actions and reactions. Okay? That is the message I want to share with you tonight. A doha.
We'll take it from now. A little bit one notch upper. You want to hear that side sing after me, please? We're going to do this like what we did last time. Bolo Ram, 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 Bolo Ram. Let's hear this 1/3 here. So my circle has 3 halves. It's meant to be a joke. 1 half, 2 half, 3 half. Let's hear the bottom half. No mics. You see, they can't sing without mic. Beautiful. So we are singing so beautiful, we're resonating and echoing in the walls of this temple. Let us continue to do this. So shall we all sing together now? Bolo Ram, 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 Bolo Ram. Umapati Mahadeva So Tehi Avasara Narad Muni comes into the play now. Sahita Aru Rishi Sapta. Anybody knows what the word Sapta means? 7. Beautiful. Let's give this a round of applause. On hearing this news, Himanchal, which is the father of Parvati, along with Narad Muni and the 7 rishis, rushed to the house to see what was happening because there's a stall. So they want to know what's happening. Chaupai continues. Jai Rama Sri Rama Jai Jai Rama Sri Rama Jai Rama Jai Mayana Satya Yaduna Ho Mama
प्रेम से बोलो भवानी माता की. So here's story here now. The mother did not even realize what kind of child she has. Sometimes there's an old saying, you make the picnic, but you don't know who they are. Am I right? I'm just giving a little Creole to relate with you. But you make a child, but you don't know who they are. My wife was telling somebody today, if within the first and the third year, if you ask them as they grow and the senses start to improve, research has shown that they would be able to indicate to you who they're born back as. So what you have is God's gift. There are many people who want and they cannot get. Accept your blessings with love. Cherish. Life is too short. Tell mama, papa, tell your daughter, honey, I love you. How you think we make mistakes and we learn and we go again? We can fix it once we are alive. So Narad Muni here. Mayana Satya Sunahu Mamavani Jagadamba Tava Sutta Bhavani. Dear Narad Muni reassured all of them, narrating to them the story of Uma's former life. I'm praising this part because Narad Muni first started relating to the mother Mainavati and Himavan and everybody in the Saptarishis there. What was the previous life of Parvati? Being that of Sati and so forth, how she took incarnation. He said that in my words, inverted commas, Narad Muni, my words are true. Your daughter is that of Bhavani. She is the mother of the world. She is Shiva's eternal consort. She is Shiva's eternal consort. And when they heard that, they all get amazed because of what Narad is speaking. But there's a transformation because Narad Muni, as he said, my words are true. Mayana Satya Sunahu Mamavani. Satya means truth. Remember we talked who Shiva was yesterday? Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Who Parvati Ma is? Similar of the same nature. Narad Muni is now translating to the very parent and the Saptarishis. So here I am telling you, Sanatan Dharma is very truthful. There is no alternative. Any other is different. Sanatan Dharma is not a religion, it's a way of life. Here Narad Muni is sharing to this family, Mainavati and Himavan, this beautiful story that your daughter is that of Bhavani Ma. Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Ma, 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 Ambe Ma, Ambe Ma. Follow. Everybody. Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Ma. Follow. Durga Bhavani Ma, Jai Jai Ambe Ma. Jayanti Mangala Kali, Bhadra Kali Kamali. Jayanti Mangala Kali, Bhadra Kali Kamali. Durga Kama Shive Nati, She's the auspicious supporter of Lord Shiva. Shiva, Shive Sarvat Sarike, Sharan Trambake Gauri, Narayani Namaste. She is the goddess Trambake. She is the female consort of Lord Shiva. Durga Bhavani So now you know who this person is. Try to understand, listen to the story behind this. It's not Mainawati is wrong. It's not Lord Shiva is incorrect. It's not Parvati Ma did not know. My skin started to grow. Hear this lesson for us. The mother did not take time to understand her child. How many of us do that in these times? While a child or children coming home, you walking through the door. And your only conversation is on the cell phone. So a little girl is laughing, I don't know your name. She can relate. I know why I'm sharing this. As a father, I ask you, take time to speak with your children. You never know what they are going through in school, peer pressure in a modern society. When they come home, you don't know who threatened them. We are the minority. We want to live in love and peace, but not to have a disease. The words are just flowing. Take time to understand and have a conversation at dinner on the table. So Mainawati here in this story did not understand her own daughter. I know. And I'm not saying this. Probably some of you may have that problem. Take the time, do some introspection. Fix it before it's too late. This is what Ramayan teaches for us. Is it relevant to modern times? Ramayan? Sanatan Dharma? Yes. Is how we read on the line, under the line, above the line, and between the lines. Remember last night? Take time to understand who your child or children is or are. I know it's a very challenging situation, but I want you to understand your family. Love them. I am not going to repeat, but I think the message has been gone across straight and very clear. So, to bring us to another Chaupai, Narad continues in his narration after he explained who Parvati is. Jai Rama, Sri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Sri Rama, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Narad Muni continues, Jag Sanga Bhava Palan Lay Karini Nij Ichalila Bapu Dharini. She is without birth or beginning. She is Shakti Avinashi, the imperishable. She is the imperishable, the divine energy. Sara Shambhu. She is Shiva's immortal spouse. Aradhanga Nivasini. She is the inseparable half. She creates and she dissolves the world. I ask you one question now. Do your homework again. Where does Shiva gets his energy from? You guys getting it? So every Chopai has a message for us. Final Chopai for tonight. Hey Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai Jai Jai, Jagadamba Devi. प्रेम से बोलो भवानी माता की, प्रेम से बोलो पार्वती माता की, प्रेम से बोलो श्री शंकर भगवान की। Do you want more energy than this? I hope nobody belly Karbala. So, this is the energy of Durga Ma. Today we did Durga Puja.
We Charhavi Prasad. We also Charhavi Prasad to Lord Shiva in a different form. It's called Bhairav. Brothers and sisters, I want to share with you something very cautiously. Some people don't tell you what you're doing. Be careful what you offer. You are that of her creation. She does not want anything other than fruits and prasad. I close my case, Your Honor. I rest my case. I hope you get the message behind the lines. She never asked you for anything of her creation. Just was pushpam phalam. With this being said, my friends, can you guys raise your right hand and let's recite, I've created a pledge for all of us tonight. Take up the mics, please. Let's recite together loud and bold. In the name of Divine Mother Adi Shakti Durga Mata, recite after me, please. I love Durga Ma. I love my Dharma. I'm a Hindu today. I'm a Hindu tomorrow. I'm a Hindu of my last breath. We shall remain one Hindu family. Indivisible and strong. No storm can shake us. No force can break us. No religion can take us from our beloved Vedic Sanatan Dharma. From our beloved Vedic Sanatan Dharma. Jai Durga Ma. Jai Durga Ma. Jai Durga Ma. Om Shakti.